What's up, Michigan fans? Welcome back to the Maize and Bluebeard podcast, your daily podcast for all things Michigan football, Michigan basketball, and all Michigan sports. I'm Chris. Thanks for being here. Short video today. I didn't have time to get out the complete video I planned with a preview and breakdown of the Michigan-St. Louis game. It's an early one today, so by the time this video's out, the game will already have started, or when you watch it, it would have already taken place. So for men's basketball content from St. Louis today, be sure to join me for the live post-game video that I'm going to do with all of you awesome Michigan fans, or catch it on the replay if you missed it. But for this, we're going to focus on two things. One, Michigan football, big news. A former assistant coach is coming back to work in the scouting department, and I think is a fantastic hire. And, of course, we're going to recap real quick what happened in other Michigan sports, baseball, softball, and of course, women's basketball. And we'll have the question of the day results at the end. All that and more on this episode of the Maize and Bluebeard podcast. Let's go blue, and let's get to it. Michigan football and Coach Kyle Whittingham has made a great hire to their scouting department. They already have Dave Peliquin, of course, as the GM, and they brought in Skylar Fan, who is just a up-and-comer, fantastic hire as well. And now they've added another great piece, and it's a familiar face for their director of player personnel role. They're bringing in former wide receiver coach Ron Bellamy. This is fantastic because I think what we all loved about Ron Bellamy was that he was a solid dude. The players loved him. He was a great recruiter. But as a wide receiver coach, the wide receiver was not a strong position for Michigan over the years while he was coach, but he was such a great recruiter and so beloved by players that it was tough to get rid of him. So I think this is just a brilliant move. He can come back, and his focus now can be on player relationship, player retention, building relationships with players and families, and most importantly of all, recruiting, being out on the road, being a recruiter. And that's something that he's been great at. Even on this current roster, he was a big part in the recruitment of Andrew Marsh, Bryce Underwood, amongst others. I think this is a slam dunk, home run, awesome hire by Michigan and Kyle Whittingham. And I think that he's going to be fantastic in this role. And I think their scouting department just continues to get better and better, and I can't wait to see how they fill out the rest of the roles. But I think this is great. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Hot news just coming in this morning, so I had to make a video about it. But I think this is great. I loved Ron Bellamy when he was a player. And I loved what he's done with players and recruiting, but we're never quite happy with the play of the receivers. So some guys can connect with players and build relationships, and they're really good at that. But maybe the X's and O's part, he's not so good at. So this is a perfect role for him, and I think it's only going to make Michigan better. I love that they're bringing him back. I give it an A+. Let me know what you think in the comments below, but I am pumped, and I cannot wait to hear more from him and see what he can do in this, all-star group that they're building in the scouting department. Go blue! In other sports, Friday was a big day for many Michigan sports. First of all, the women's basketball team started their NCAA tournament run as the number 2 seed when they took on Holy Cross, and they, holy moly, knocked out Holy Cross. They won 83-48. Nearly doubled them up. What a win for Michigan. They move on and they'll play Sunday against NC State, the number 7 seed, who defeated Tennessee 76-61. So that'll be a great game. Get ready for that. I'll talk about that more in tomorrow's video to let you know the time and channel and all of that stuff. But great win for Michigan women's basketball. They move on to the round of 32, and hopefully both our teams will be in the Sweet 16 by the end of the weekend. Michigan baseball started off their weekend series with Nebraska by winning 2-1. They had a great pitching effort from Kurt Barr and Max Debiak. They had 8 scoreless innings for Michigan. Drew Culbertson and Evan Hager drove in a run each in the win, and Greg Pace Jr. had a single, a walk, and a stolen base in the contest. They won 2-1. They moved to 12-9 overall, 2-3 in the Big Ten. So a fantastic start to the weekend. Hopefully they continue that as they take on tonight or this afternoon at 2 p.m. They play Nebraska in game 2 of the series. It'll be on Big Ten Plus. Michigan's softball team did not have the same luck. They were in a back and forth affair. They take the lead, lose lead, take the lead, lose the lead, and in the end they lost 9-7 to Washington, who is a very good team. Michigan drops to 19-10, 0-4 in the Big Ten. Not a great start for the women's softball team, or for the Michigan softball team. Washington improves to 24-6, 7-0. They're one of the best teams in the country. So Michigan's hanging, but they've lost a lot of close games. So hopefully they can get it turned around. They'll play game 2 today at 2 p.m. as well, at home against Washington. So that one will also be on Big Ten Plus. And don't forget, tonight the hockey team is going to take on Ohio State for the Big Ten Tournament Championship on the Big Ten Network at 8 p.m. So check that one out. And hopefully we'll be celebrating the Big Ten Tournament Championship for the Michigan Wolverines hockey team. Now it's time for the results of the question of the day. Yesterday I asked, because of Jay Hill doing his press conference for the spring game, I asked, who is the most impactful defensive coordinator, in your opinion, that you've seen during your time of Michigan fandom? So you could choose between Mike Macdonald, who really kind of got things started in that national championship, college football playoff, Big Ten championship, dominating Ohio State run for Jim Harbaugh. You could go with Jesse Minter, who took over from Mike Macdonald and really took the defense to new heights and, of course, ended in a national championship season. You could say Jim Herman, who was the defensive coordinator when Michigan had Charles Woodson and won that national championship in 97. Or you could say other. There's a lot of other defensive coordinators that you could pick from. You could say Wink Martindale. You know, I don't think his time here was great, but he is the originator of the defense that Jesse Minter and Mike Macdonald used. You could say Don Brown. I think he was a brilliant guy, but his defenses just got gashed in big games. But he did have a lot of early success for Michigan when they turned their program around. Or you could go even way further back, and there's a lot of great defensive coordinators back then. Ron English is one that a lot of people like. So anyway, the results are in, and here they are. As you can see here, it was a runaway win. I thought it might be closer with some of them, but Jesse Minter took the win by a long shot. Hard to argue. His defense was incredible and was a big part of why they won that national championship. And now he's the head coach for the Baltimore Ravens. Look at that. Thanks everybody that voted. Remember, I do a question of the day every day. So if you didn't vote today after this video, go vote. That's going to do it for this episode of the Maize and Bluebeard podcast. Thanks for hanging out with me as always. If it's your first time here and you had a good time, I would love it if you would subscribe, become a part of the community. And remember, when we get to 1,000, I'm dyeing this beard maize and blue, so you will help us get 1 subscriber closer. And if you already are subscribed, I appreciate you. Thank you for being a part of this community. Make sure that you hit the like button. It helps YouTube know that you're having fun and send this video out to more people. And finally, leave a comment. I respond to everyone, and I love to talk to you in the comments section. So I will see you down there, and I'll see you in the next video. And until I do, as always, go blue.